Okay guys, I want to show you my F16 from nitro.com. I've done a few mods on this and I want to show you them. First thing is I did a wheel modification on here. I also put a little orange on it because my eyes. But I've put Habu's front wheel set up on here. It moved my servo a little more forward inside. I'll show you later. Plus it's got a little bit of an air scoop here, so you're getting air into your battery a little better. You can get this whole front kit from Park Zone. It's Habu's front wheel. It comes with everything here, all your linkages, everything but the servo. And the wheel's just a little stronger. It's got more spring. And if you do have a little rough landing, it just gives better than the stock one. You just set it on here, mark where you need it, and I just epoxied in everything in. And I'll show you why I did that. In the my first build, this is my second build. I had a servo go up and it crashed my first one, and I love this jet so much that all the electronics were still good in it, so I bought another kit. And you know how it is, your second build always comes out better. On my first build I had to extend the canopy, but this one I didn't have to do that. I still run the servo arm as just a back safety, and on the front of your canopy is just magnets. So I put a little piece of aluminum, and you can use anything in here. You can use barbecue skewers, anything in here, but I do recommend that just so it doesn't blow up on you. And as you can see with the Habu front wheel, it moves everything, all the servos forward, which give me enough room in here. I only had to cut out just a little triangle or rectangle here to get all Habu stuff in there working for the wheel. And that made my battery box a little more forward. I was able to take, I'm running a 4000 4-cell in here, Gen Ace, and I made I had to cut out a couple spots here, and then I moved some forward, and I think this piece is still stock. This piece I added in here just as to make the box so the battery doesn't slide around, and then glue in a piece of Velcro to hold your battery in. And it put my center of gravity right where I needed to be, and it's still got plenty of room for the receiver. So I didn't have to do the canopy mod, and I like that a lot better on this one. Plus, while I was right here, I went ahead and added some carbon fiber rods. You can get some on each side and really epoxied them in. Just as it got a little bit of more weight here, it just strengthens this back up where you are cutting out a little bit. I'd rather just do that to be on the safe side. And then, as you notice on your stock one, you got the rudder has the linkages going through here, and mine was binding and sticking some. And then plus I wanted to get all that out of the way here and clean this area up, so I added another servo for the rudder, and I used the stock servo back here for the rudder, and I bought a Metal Gear servo. I got a T-Pro Metal Gear 9-gram servo for the wheel, so you don't strip them. And but the stock servo is fine back here, and as long as you cut it all in before you install your vertical stabilizer, it's a lot easier, because then you can run your wire down and through here and hide it a lot easier. But mine was just sticking on my first one, so I just cut a hole out, got the servo in, and just glued everything in. And it's put a shorter arm on here that's made this rudder a lot better. That is well worth the mod doing, and the battery mod too. I mean, even if you don't change the front wheel, it's just going to move your battery box back a little bit. You know, I think you will have to cut that brace out and just move it back some. But if you don't do the front wheel modify, but I would at least change this one to a 9-gram servo with metal gears. And just make sure when you do this servo on the rudder, just make sure that you bind everything up and you got everything going the right way. Mine was on this side. It puts the rudder the right way, because you have to put a you got to put a Y harness in. And, you know, sometimes with your Y harnesses, one wants to go one way and one the other. But as long as you put it on the right side, it will work. And I like this a lot better than the stock setup. And these Habus, is like I said, these are really well worth it, because they're only like $7 for this whole piece. And with the air coming in a little bit more, it does help cooling. The bigger battery, you get a lot more time. A little bit more nose weight always helps on these jets, because these are floaters. And mine wanted to really tip up a lot, and the heavier battery helps it. And then plus you get a lot more fly time, so it's well worth the battery mod. So I hope this has helped some of you guys. If you want to do a few mods, this jet really does fly good. I love the jet. Just make sure you use epoxy on it too. That's another one. The CA glue doesn't really want to work good with this foam, but as long as you use the epoxy, you're going to be fine. So I hope this has helped some of you guys, and maybe I can get a chance to get out here and do a little maiden for you to show you how she flies.